Good evening, everyone. I'm sorry for being a couple minutes late. I am going to give everyone time to get into this feed because at the moment I have nothing but time. If you are tuning in to a different Delphi channel right now, you need to turn it off. If you have friends out there listening to other channels right now, you need to message them and tell them to come here. Because what you are about to hear will come from no one other than me. What you are about to hear cannot come from anyone other than me. And what you are about to hear is going to solidify and confirm that everything I've been telling you about Delphi and everything I've been telling you about Michigan City is the God's honest truth. I was not expecting to do a live tonight, okay? I apologize. I'm like literally had to throw something on because I was in my pajamas. I had just hung up a long phone call with Chris, and we were working on next steps. Hi, everybody. Listen, I'm not. I'm not trying to ignore you guys. Something heavy, very, very big has happened. We have serious breaking news right now. Okay, the journalist in me wants to just put on the hat and go, but it cannot work like that. Oh, the receipts. It's a new day. The receipts, y'all better buckle up. If you are joining us from Michigan City or LaPorte after seeing my post on the Michigan City Unsolved page a little bit ago, then I want to first of all welcome you, because what you are about to hear will be shocking, it will be confusing, and I know you will have questions. But I asked you to come here, and I need you here. I need you here so you will understand what has happened. Um, oh God, I don't even know where to start. Okay, Chris, I'm going to do my best here. Guys, I have been crying. I only had about an hour and 20 minutes to prepare for this. Literally hung up the phone with Chris, got a text message, called Chris back 20 seconds later, and my whole demeanor had completely changed. Thanks, Chris. Thank you, Prof. And thank you, Chris, for calling Prof and filling him in. Chris and Prof and Adrian are in here, and they're going to be moderating. I have to ask you this, please. I know that we like to have fun. I know that we like to, even though it's a very serious subject matter, tonight is not the night for that. I need your adult hats on tonight, because it's bad. It's really fucking bad. Okay. I think I know I'm going to do this. So I talked to Prof. I am working on stuff on my StreamYard right now, so I didn't have a chance to do this going through StreamYard. So, and the reason I wanted to do that was so that I could upload documents while we were chatting. But what I've decided to do is read these documents to you and then post them on my community page immediately following this live. That way you have the receipts in front of you. If I had time to do all this editing and put it all together in the presentation mode, like Prof says, I apparently I do pretty well, and I would love to do that, but no, my brain can't do it. I will preface this by saying, guys, that I'm a personal and professional, I don't want to say mess, because I'm here, I'm talking, and I'm getting through this. And by the end, you will understand why I am getting through this and why I'm committed to doing this. I should grab my Kleenex. I'll get it later. Okay. This is how we're going to do this. I have a press release here. This was updated. It looks like the first post went out today around 11 hours ago. Looks like it was updated within the last few hours. This is from the Michigan City Police Department, my hometown police department. Officers from Uniform Patrol Shift 2 responded to the area of 100 Water Street on October 4th at approximately 5:30 p.m. after the LaPorte County Regional Dispatch Center received a 911 call regarding a pickup truck that drove into Trail Creek. Officers arrived on scene and learned the pickup truck was submerged in approximately 8 to 10 feet of water and that no one had surfaced. Drivers from the Michigan City Police Department and fire departments were immediately deployed in the water upon their arrival. Drivers removed 2 adult occupants from the rear passenger compartment area of the pickup truck. An adult male and adult female were transported by LaPorte County EMS to Franciscan Health Hospital in critical condition. Both occupants were then transferred to the University of Chicago Hospital in Chicago, Illinois for more advanced medical treatment. The adult female succumbed to her injuries at the hospital on October 5th and was identified as 50-year-old Corbin, Kentucky resident Sharon Chappell. The male's identity is currently being withheld at this time due to the ongoing investigation, and he continues to receive medical treatment at the University of Chicago Hospital. The pickup truck was eventually removed from Trail Creek with assistance from John's Garage in Wanata, Indiana. All of the responding departments, Michigan City PD, Long Beach, we've talked about Long Beach, Indiana Dunes, United States Coast Guard, and Cook County Medical Examiner's Office were all involved. Anyone with information or video of this crash is requested to contact lead investigator Officer Daniel Rivor, from the Michigan City Police Department's Traffic Division. Please don't. I'm begging you, please don't. This is an ongoing investigation, and additional information will be released as it becomes available. Ten days ago, I released this redacted tip to you guys from Unified, the one I sent to Unified Command. When staff confronted John Doe 2 with these concerns last year, it was reported John Doe 2 removed the mattresses from the upstairs rooms the same day, and an apartment belonging to his alleged boyfriend owner, John Doe 1. The mattresses were then reportedly taken to John Doe 2's residence at LaPorte, Indiana, where they were placed in a burn pile and burnt. However, one staff member, Sharon Chappell, was staying at this John Doe 2's home and claims she and a friend went to the burn pile, where they were also found rope in a children's-sized chair. John Doe 2 has no young children in his household. Furthermore, Ms. Chappell believes that John Doe 2 could be involved in the Anthony Schatz profile. Although our team has yet to find any direct connection to John Doe 2 to that username, Chapel is adamant that she has heard that name before, a reference to his name and his bar association. Thank you. I can't say. I have known Sharon Chapel for 35 plus years. And when Tara died, Sharon called me and said she needed to talk to me. She knew I was looking into Tara's death. She was living in Kentucky at the time because the information she had was so bad, she had fled Indiana altogether. Sharon came to my office, my first office, and then my second one. We spent an entire weekend the first time talking. I think it was like 6 or 7 straight hours of interviews just that first weekend, and then subsequent interviews. No one knew her name associated with this besides me and Unified Command. And I put this tip out there 10 days ago, 8 days ago. 2 people drove into a dock or off a dock in Michigan City into Lake Michigan. And the source behind that tip is gone. Corbin, Kentucky, trial junkie. I am so tired of having to say the words allegedly, hypothetically, maybe, supposedly. I called Chris a mess. And she instantly knew this thing was bad. And I said, Sharon's dead. And she said, oh my God. And I said, and she said, stop. There's a difference between correlation and causation. And in that moment, I wasn't a journalist. I wasn't a PI. I was someone who just found out that I may have gotten my friend killed. But I'm not supposed to say it. Because that would be defaming some poor innocent damn cop. I just talked to Sharon a few weeks ago because John Doe 2 is dead too. Died a few months back. And heard about his death. And she was like the first person I called. And I called her to tell her that she was safe. She was safe. I don't know, Teresa, but I'll be at their doorstep tomorrow morning because I am done. I am done. I've already been sending stuff off the last couple hours from the moment I heard this. I started making calls. I'm done. I called her, and the two numbers I had for her were disconnected. So I messaged her on Facebook. I WhatsApped her. I like literally tried to hunt her down. And it was about a week later, I got a message back from her. And she's like, hey, is everything okay? And I'm like, John Doe 2 is gone. She's like, what? I said, yeah. I said, you don't have to be afraid anymore. I said, he's dead. And John Doe 1 has no clue about this tip that I'm aware of. So the only person who, because the only person she feared in all of this was John Doe 2. So, like, within seconds of learning that he was deceased, I could not get to her fast enough. And she was like, I think at first she was in shock. And she was like, really? And I was like, yeah. And so we talked a little bit more. How you doing? I'm okay. I'm good. I'm still in Kentucky. I said, well, I'm actually getting out of here myself, or had already gotten out of here, I think. That's how recently it was that we spoke. And sorry, something just occurred to me. Police are going to go through her damn messages. You guys, the police are going to go through those messages, which means that local PD, MCPD, is going to know what we know. If they don't know those details already, or how much we know, oh God. And the weird thing is, like, our messages are gone. I checked them before I got on. Can I read the email to CCSO again in its entirety? Yeah, in its entirety. Yes. Sorry, I have nothing but time. I'm so angry. Let me real quick. Hell, I should just unredact John Doe 2's name, but it then offers the identity of John Doe 1, and John Doe 1 would hit me with a defamation suit quicker than you can say. This is just a coincidence. All right. Yeah, this will keep me distracted, Prof. So that's good. That this will keep me distracted from crying, because now you see why I have to do this, you guys, because I have to do this for Sharon. Damn, my girl. Yeah, this tip was 7. Samantha, I'm gone. I'm gone. And after tomorrow, I may be gone again. All right. This tip was sent 3/10 of 2022. Sorry. To the Ambient Living tip line at cacoshrf.com. Good morning. In the course of investigating the hit and run death of Indiana resident Tara Stevens, our team came across information we feel your task force needs to have. Allegations have been made by 2 former employees of Establishment 1 and Establishment 2 in Michigan City, Indiana, involving potential child exploitation and trafficking. The primary individuals involved are owners/investors of these 2 establishments. The housekeeping staff claims that they were called in several times in the middle of the night to clean up rooms not registered to customers and found certain items of concern, including soiled and bloodied twin mattresses stacked up against the walls. The rooms only have king and queen beds, along with soiled underwear and jeans that looked like they belonged to a young male. Former staff, whom I can now identify as Sharon Chappell, also reported hearing statements such as, "No, no, no, and you're not done yet." The clientele at this establishment reportedly consists of many upscale men with out-of-state plates. We are told they book rooms and leave in the middle of the night. That's when they, Chappell and others, were reportedly called in to clean the rooms. A second employee contacted the family of Tara Stevens, but is too afraid of this individual to speak to our team on the record. John Doe 1 and John Doe 2 are also involved in both of these establishments, and staff feels something sinister could be taking place at both establishments. When Sharon Chappell confronted John Doe 2 with these concerns last year, it was reported that John Doe 2 removed the mattresses from the upstairs rooms the same day. The mattresses were then reportedly taken to John Doe 2's residence, where they were placed in a burn pile and burned. However, one staff member, Sharon Chappell, was staying at John Doe 2's house and claims she and a friend went to the burn pile, where they also found rope and a children's sized chair. John Doe 2 has no young children in his household. Furthermore, Chappell believes John Doe 2 could be involved in the Anthony Schatz profile, although our team has yet to find any direct connection to that username for him. Chappell is adamant that she has heard that name before, a reference to his name and his bar association. Sorry, Adrian, just seeing you type her name was like, it just, goddamn. I am going to also put up a picture of Sharon because she's a hero in all this. No. Oh, yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Because that actually is a rumor. I'm so glad you said that. It's a new day. Yes, I'm going to say that right now. We had been hearing yesterday after this vehicle went off this dock in Trail Creek, or Michigan City, I should say, that this was a situation of somebody taking a life and then wanting to take their own. I am not in any way, shape, or form going to do self-harm. I'm not going to hurt myself. I'm not going to take my own life. And if something happens to me, it's because it was not at my choice. Okay? I've already buried someone in my family from doing that. And the damage it caused is permanent. That boy's death ensured that I will never, even under the most, you know what? I feel like Rick right now. You know, you'll never get me to confess. Watch this. You'll never get me to take. I have no intention of hurting myself. I have no intention of taking my life. But who knows what they'll make it look like? Let's end it like that. Who knows what they'll make it look like? I cannot tell you how bad I feel. I cannot tell you how angry I am. Right before I got on, I scrolled Facebook real quick just to check something, and a friend of ours from high school, Brian, had put up a picture of her, and he was like, damn, another one gone so soon. And I'm just like, I want to like just scream at them and say, you guys, they took Tara, now they've taken Sharon, I'm probably next. 3 girls from the same high school. 2 of them are gone. One of them is fighting to not be gone. All because what? Because a bunch of guys like trafficking young boys and made the mistake of calling in the one housekeeper at night who was unwilling to keep her mouth shut about it. See, the reason that Sharon came to me with this is because John Doe number 2 had received a visit from the police in the Tara Stevens investigation. And she called me and said that there was damage to his vehicle, which was a black GMC Terrain, to the front end. And the police cleared John Doe 2. I don't know how. They won't tell me. They won't tell Tara's family. All they'll say is that they cleared him. And so I gotta stop looking at chat or I'm gonna lose my train of thought. I'm just too upset. It's not that I'm trying to ignore you guys. I don't remember where I was going. I could try. Sorry. At any rate, I have. Oh, John Doe number 2. So she came to me out of frustration and fear. She came to me begging me to not let the police give up on this person. Because there are upwards of 2 to 3. Someone spread rumors about me. I don't listen. I cannot stress this enough. I don't care what anybody might be saying about me rumor-wise. I cannot tell you how much I don't care. If you wake up in the morning and you are bothered by what somebody else says to you when you're being told that a woman's life is now gone just days after someone goes out and gives probably one of the most mind-blowing tips that we've seen in all of Delphi land in a while, and then all of a sudden she ends up 10 feet underwater. Yeah, there is literally no rumor on the planet I could care enough right now about. um I've had like 5 YouTubers reach out to me in the last few days trying to take back or what they've said or realign with me because now they've seen the receipts and now they're realizing that they made the wrong choice in all this. And listen, I'm not trying to be rude here. I'm going to keep this professional. I'm going to keep this ethical because I intend to send this to TV stations all over the Midwest as soon as it's processed. I don't want your assistance. I don't need your assistance. I made it clear when I came back, when I took those few weeks off and I got out of Dodge and I had a chance to review everything, I made it very clear coming back into this that this was not going to be a situation where if you sat down with me for a 15 to 30-minute talk, I was not going to be asking you questions at the end of this. It would be the other way around. And now I have some folks out there who think that they can trick me or bait me, or I'm just going to forgive a year's worth of crap that they've said about me. Listen, this is where you need to understand my head is coming from, okay? I cannot stress this enough. I don't care about your rumors. I don't care about the things that you say about me. That's not why I dislike you or mistrust you. It's that you people, some of you are behaving, not you guys in the comments, but some of these YouTubers are behaving in such a manner that you are getting people killed. You are behaving in such a manner that you are destroying lives. And to you, it's a form of entertainment and monetization. Chris and I were talking today about someone who apparently raised like $5,000, which is a huge no-no with the Allen family. They don't want people raising funds in their name. Get that straight. But apparently, one of these YouTubers, I guess, allegedly, hypothetically raised $5,000 for some trial transcripts, and then the trial transcripts were released for free. We are not on equal footing, okay? There was a woman who reached out to me twice in 2 different sets of profiles tonight, had the audacity to send me a friend request. Now I see why. Because she must have seen the presser about Sharon. Or maybe she didn't. I don't know. Really doesn't matter. But she reached out to me under her married name, so I didn't recognize the YouTube name. And she's like, Erica, this is crazy. How does it feel that everything you've been saying is now coming true? And I'm like, did something happen? Like, literally, that was my response. Did something happen that I missed? And then she comes back with just whining about how she's got problems now because she did a YouTube and blah, blah, blah. And Erica, I know that, you're angry at me and you hate me. You probably hate me. And listen, I am an emotionally intelligent person, okay? I don't hate people because they call me a name. No, I set boundaries with people who put my life at risk. I choose not to engage with those who are incapable of critical thinking. I don't have open-minded conversations with closed minds. That is not me being petty. That is me being mature. And I think it needs to be said out loud that we have very few mature people working on this case still. This has become a free-for-all and a circus. It's become a joke to many. I understand that Osbrook was on Twitter today basically baiting me to drop these text messages. And let me tell you something, Michael Osbrook, I'm just going to make it real clear. You have a serious, serious need for self-reflection. Like, your self-awareness is at nil. If you think, he basically said that releasing those messages is going to make me look like the, no, Samantha, my email is not compromised. No, I'm literally looking at it right now. No. I remember where I was. Sorry. I'm not. Oh, Osbrook, sorry. So he, Samantha, I don't know. Ask Chris. I want to get this thought out. Basically, that he's hoping that I'm going to release all of the text messages because it will prove that I'm basically just like this nut job. And I said to Chris, in like 2,000 messages, I think I went off on him twice. And that was after he kept this back and forth, this ping pong of, I know you guys haven't been paid. I'm getting you paid. Don't worry. Here's some money coming into your Venmo right now. Like, give me 2 minutes. I'll send the money. And then 2 weeks later, we didn't know what was going on. He played us so fucking badly. And then come to find out, we were not even allowed to enter into that. We weren't allowed to give him our notes. We weren't allowed to copy our stuff. We weren't allowed to do all this stuff. So going out on social media and saying that about me today is kind of a bait. That's why he needs to lose his license. Okay? That's why he needs to be stripped of his ability to do this in a courtroom. And maybe that's why he's not. Maybe he's not doing this in a courtroom, guys. He's doing this on YouTube. And what I'm finding about a lot of lawyers on YouTube, do your research, is that many of them have turned to YouTube because they've been sanctioned and they can't practice, or their malpractice insurance has shot up 5 times because they've been kicked off cases and gotten bad press, which is why some of them feel the need to call me and talk to me about my image and how maybe they don't like the fact that I cuss. They wanted to go off on me after that appearance on Court TV where I got that thing wrong about Pharisee's date. And let me just say this about Shane Meehan, because I read that, that Carroll County crap. Somebody in the federal government cares enough about Greg Ferenczi's death that Meehan will not spend his natural life in a psych ward. It's not going to happen. So I'm fine with the Redditors having a problem with me until that day comes. I'm a very patient person now. I am my mother's daughter. I was always the most impatient person in the world. And now I can wait it out because it's worth it. It's worth it. If you thought I was mad when Tara Stevens died, if you thought I was mad when Rick Allen was falsely convicted, no one is going to convince me that these two events are unrelated until or unless I see evidence to the contrary, and not from MCPD and not from Indiana State Police. See, the reason I decided to do this, because my first was, no, Meehan, I don't know if he failed a psych eval, but he ended up, when I was on Court TV, I had said that he had been Yes, it is the elephant in the room, Prof. I had said that he had been convicted, I think. Um, and really, what had happened was I had seen that last report about him going to trial and that they expected that conviction. And then, excuse me, he ended up in a psych ward, feigning. Um, Suddenly, he's not able enough to protect himself, or I can't to defend himself. Oh my God. I know. I don't know that they've decided that there will be a trial. I haven't looked into all of that. Um, Parents, he wasn't currently on the Odin Trail at all. He was onto something else. I don't know who you are. I would like to see your credentials before I believe that statement, because unless you are FBI, which if you are, you have no business saying that out loud, and if you aren't, you don't know that for certain. This is where my tolerance is waning. Is some of you are stating rumors as fact, and that's not what it is. Um, I will gladly take a look at Ferency's logs and his notes if you want to give me access to those. If you claim to have the ability to give me access to those, then I'll take a look as an investigator and identify the credence of what's being presented to me. But that's what I started to go back to. Sorry, that's where I left off, and it is so critical. I am not on equal footing with any of these YouTubers, and neither is Chris. We respect the hell out of Prof. If there is anyone in the YouTube community who deserves our respect and has earned our respect, it is that man. Because he is thorough, he is fair, he gives it to you whether he likes it or not, whether it benefits his argument or his opinion. I'm going to stop looking at the comments for a section because I'm just too easily distracted at the moment. But there is not a single YouTuber who was contracted by the defense who was out there telling the story, besides me. Chris has done a few lives here and there, but no one is out there doing it like this. No one is dropping receipts. No one is dropping messages and communications and emails and recordings. And I think you all know by now that I have possession of those things. I know it's not about you, Prof, but the fact that your humility is so strong is, again, one of the reasons why I adore you. I was getting ready to look at something and I can't remember what. Oh. The housekeeping staff claims that they were called in several times in the middle of the night to clean up rooms not registered to customers and found certain items of concern. Soiled and bloodied twin mattresses stacked up against the walls, along with soiled underwear and jeans that looked like they belonged to a young male. Former staff also reported hearing those statements. So Sharon Chapel lived, she was renting a room, I believe it was in the basement of this residence that belonged to upper management at one of the establishments. They were roommates. And in these hours-long recordings with me, which I can now share. That's the thing. Protecting a source goes away the moment they are deceased. Remember the whole deep throat thing? That was the agreement. They would keep his identity secret until his death. That was my agreement with Sharon. She said, if anything ever happens to me, you spill it all. Well, baby girl, I'm going to do just that. I cannot believe this. I can't believe she's gone. They are withholding any information about the identity of the man who was in the vehicle with her. They classified her as being from Corbin, Kentucky, but they failed to say that she was a lifelong Michigan City resident, that she was a 1992 graduate of Rogers High School, and that she had a lot of friends and family in that town who loved her. And I was one of them. But I am going to honor our agreement. I am going to drop more dirt, in Sean's own words and voice. I'm going to let you hear what she said. How she goes into details of what they have done, details of the condition of those rooms. And the way she describes those mattresses being stacked up against the wall, like, I don't remember offhand, like, don't quote me because I don't remember, but she said they were like multiple deep, like maybe 3, 4, or 5 deep. And what upset her so much was that these rooms only had kings and queens. And it's a new day. Let me sleep on that. Okay. Let me sleep on that, because this is a potential homicide investigation, in my opinion. I mean, it is. This is what I think. Michigan City PD could come up with a completely different story, especially if they send it over to Holman's guys, which they normally do. They send Michigan City PD's investigations when they need assistance. They go to ISP Lowell, and Holman's in charge of that call. So let me just put it to you like this. Do you guys trust Jerry Holman to run a thorough and fair investigation here? Especially regarding the tipster whose tip didn't make its way out of Jerry Holman's hands where it needed to go, which was in the Delphi Defense Discovery. We have a conflict of interest. Jerry Holman can't investigate this. He can't. Oh my God. I didn't think I'd laugh again tonight. Why, Trail Junkie? Jerry Holman can't investigate this because I am alleging that this tip sent to Unified Command run by Jerry Holman got her killed. That's why. Which means I can take this to the FBI. And I don't even have to take it to the FBI in Indiana. Chris, they didn't think this went through. They didn't even think it through in their presser. No, Trial Junkie. It will help you immensely if you go back and um, look at previous lives. Correct. Men with out of state plates, yes. And she's alleging high profile men with out of state plates. Um, that tip trial junkie was not in our discovery. And then that's what really kind of tipped Chris and I off that something was wrong. And then we had the tip to about Sean Adkins, which I don't claim there to be any relevance to that case. I cannot thank you. I mean, I can't stress that enough. Um, I'm really trying to not, I just don't want to be you guys anymore, YouTubers. Like, I'm done even saying your names, I think, after tonight. Because you're not on equal ground here. You think that you have the right to talk to me like, um, well, Eric, I still have questions. I don't care. Like, I don't owe you an explanation. I also know that they are trying to trap me right now into saying some things about our compensation. They're trying to basically trip me up. I think it's a ploy to get a YouTuber asked me to pre-record something today and send it to her. Yeah, that's not happening. That's not happening. Um, so they are relevant. They are absolutely irrelevant. They are probably sitting over on a channel right now making fun of my hair while I am telling you that a woman whom I have known for 36 years, who made it clear to me, and I may actually have it on recording. I have to go back and now, tomorrow, I get to spend hours listening to Sharon's voice. That's going to be a hard thing to do. But I'm pretty sure I had Sharon do that too, guys. I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure I remember sitting in my office saying, Sharon, I need you to say it on recording that you have no intention of hurting yourself. I think I may have had her say it a few times. It's weird when you grow up and graduate high school and you leave your hometown and you go off and you live this. Yes, trial junkie, this could bust him if it leads us to where we think it's going to lead us, which I do. I mean, I think it's there. um oh, when you leave and you start your life, you go, you get married, you whatever, have this life, and then you come back, if you ever do that, and then you come back to your hometown and you see people you haven't seen in 20 or 30 years. And that's that's kind of how it was when Sharon and I reconnected. It was like she walked in and you gave her a hug. Hey, I haven't seen you in 30 years. How are you? Locked the doors immediately, closed the blinds, got her into a room where she felt safe. And how do you start small talk like that? Like, it was just so weird because, like, how do you have small talk? Oh gosh, I haven't seen you in 35 years. Thank you so much for coming in to tell me about this child exploitation. Oh my God. If you are listening from Michigan City, you have got to know what Sharon did for this community. You've got to know that she put it all on the line. You have to. You have to know that when Tara, I told you guys that somebody had the strength to come forward and speak up for Tara. And that was Sharon. I bet that's one hell of a reunion taking place right now. They haven't seen each other in 5 years. Oh, sorry guys. I am trying not to be too emotional. If they go after Chris, I wish him luck. I wish him a lot of luck. I really do, because that would be painful. That would be really painful. They go after Chris. I'm trying not to ignore you guys. Like, I feel bad. I've got so many names I see here. I'm just gonna start reading them. Trial Junkie, Ms. Pie Crust, Quad, Adrian, of course, Aaron, Sweet Dude. I mean, just it's a new day. Like, I cannot tell you guys, Carly-Ann, how much I appreciate your maturity, how much I appreciate your I Sweet Dude, I'm gonna say this. I just found out like 2 hours ago that she's gone. We have no information. Now Chris and I are gonna have to talk as soon as we get off here, because that presser, Chris says Cook County Medical Examiner's Office, and I have no idea why. So that's where we will start, is finding out why the Chicago Medical Examiner's Office is involved. Unless they've decided, oh, well, because she died at University of Chicago, died of U of C. Oh, Chris, we just dodged a bullet. Cook County's handling it, thank God. Not our alcoholic quarter. I do not and cannot emotionally do a 2 or 3 hour thing tonight. We're nearing an hour. I'll give it about 2 more minutes unless something big comes up, but I have got to decide next steps. I've got to get back on the phone with Chris. Our night is not over. Yeah, Chris, it's time to send that message, that text. Time to send the text. I hope to be back soon. I have no idea what tomorrow's going to bring. I literally don't know that this has happened. I already have a meeting tomorrow about some legal stuff to get some stuff moving. So once that's taken care of tomorrow morning, then I may probably make some trips. Like, I'm not playing anymore. Sharon's gone. We're done. If they thought they had me mad before, they have not seen me this mad. Like, I just... Yeah, please pray for Sharon Chapel. Okay. I can't do this right now. I've I've reached my point. So, Donnie, help me. Thank you. We're gonna go ahead and wrap it up. I want to get these documents up so that you can see this, and I got to get back on the phone with Chris and get some more work done. So thank you all. Please, please, please share this information. Let people in the community know that we have another victim. We have someone who was brave and did exactly what we've been asking people to do, which is come forward. And now she's gone. And I have to live with that. So anyway, you all have a great night. Thank you for your support. I appreciate it. And hopefully we'll talk to you soon.